Bank of America's online banking goes haywire. The IMF issues yet another warning to El Salvador on its Bitcoin policies. And HBO says that its upcoming documentary will reveal the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. These stories and more on this week's Bitcoin News Update. Hi, I'm Nate Martin with this week's Bitcoin News Update. Bank of America customers faced significant issues with online and mobile banking on Wednesday. Down Detector reported tens of thousands of disruptions, with users on social media noting their balances had dropped to zero. Similar smaller spikes in issues were being seen at JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo starting around 12 noon Eastern Time. Over 100 customers from each of those banks reported trouble accessing their banking apps and websites. Bank of America confirmed the disruptions, but it didn't disclose the cause, stating, quote, "Some clients are experiencing an issue accessing their accounts and balance information today. These issues are being addressed and have largely been resolved. We apologize for any inconvenience." JP Morgan analysts highlight the debasement trade as a key driver of gold and Bitcoin gains. Both institutional and retail investors view gold and Bitcoin as safe havens amid global economic instability. Analysts note that gold's surge surpasses dollar and bond yield movements, attributing it to factors like geopolitical instability, inflation concerns, and a move away from fiat currencies. They observed that gold at $2,700 per ounce and Bitcoin at over $60,000 reflects these shifts. The analysts suggest central bank purchases play a crucial role in gold's future, while a potential Trump victory in 2024 may further fuel the debasement trade. The International Monetary Fund advised El Salvador to narrow its Bitcoin law and strengthen regulatory oversight of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. IMF spokesperson Julie Kozak recommended limiting public sector exposure to Bitcoin. This follows repeated warnings from the IMF, which called for increased transparency and mitigation of fiscal and financial risks tied to Bitcoin. Since 2021, the IMF has urged El Salvador not to use Bitcoin as legal tender and improve regulation. El Salvador became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender in September of 2021 and holds 5,892 BTC worth around $345 million. President Nayib Bukele called the move net positive, though adoption has lagged expectations. Interestingly, the IMF recently praised Bukele's 2025 debt-free budget plan. A social media post by the account Wicked on X speculates that Satoshi Nakamoto may have tested 51% attacks on the Bitcoin blockchain in May 2009. The claim follows the transfer of several 2009 BTC blocks last month, suggesting Satoshi may have used his dominant hash rate to explore the attack's impact. Wicked shared a chart showing extra nonce data revealing that Satoshi's mining behavior stood out compared to other participants. While Wicked proposed this could be intentional or accidental, no known discussions from that period reference these events. Jameson Lott pointed to static extra nonce gaps, hinting at possible manual clock adjustments or lost internet connections as explanations. The debate highlights continued intrigue around Bitcoin's early development and Satoshi's mysterious actions, leaving many questions unanswered. Speaking of Satoshi Nakamoto, a new HBO documentary claims to reveal the true identity of Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator, potentially shaking financial markets and impacting the U.S. presidential election. The documentary, produced by Emmy-nominated Cullen Hoback, airs next Wednesday. Since Bitcoin's creation in 2009, it has become a $1 trillion asset. Satoshi's exposure could lead to questions about potential crimes and a fortune estimated at $66 billion. Recently, wallets from the Satoshi era have become active, moving around 250 Bitcoin worth nearly $15 million. While many suspect Hal Finney, Dorian Nakamoto, Nick Szabo, or Adam Back, the Bitcoin community argues that without proof, the pursuit of identifying Satoshi is speculative and constitutes an invasion of Satoshi's right to privacy. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you think HBO has credible evidence as to Satoshi's identity, or if you think that the network is just using the mystery to gain ratings. That's it for this week's Bitcoin News Update. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. See you next week.